recognize the name, so appreciate y'all taking time to hop on the call this morning. Again, Kim Gordon, Strategic Account Executive here with Evolve IP slash ATSG, supporting Texas, Arizona, and SoCal partner community. So again, thank you for joining.
And good morning, everyone. I'm Don Imaizumi. I'm the Senior Vice President for Channel and OEM Sales. It's really a pleasure to meet you, at least virtually for now. Hopefully we'll get a chance to go face-to-face. I'm the guy out of Carmel, Indiana, and look forward to having this discussion and follow-up discussions after. But thank you for taking the time this morning.
Great. I think most of you guys know me. I'm Gary Coben. I'm Evolve IP's Channel Chief, and appreciate you guys taking the time to join us this morning.
Awesome. All right, let's jump into slide 1. Kim, you want to kick us off?
Absolutely. Thank you. So most of you have probably heard the big news about a little over 30 days ago that Evolve IP and ATSG merged. As a leading cloud IT service provider in Evolve IP, and ATSG is a leader in the MSP space. It's a really exciting move for our companies because it just brings, it makes us even more powerful in the marketplace and in the channel ecosystem, especially. It's going to open up, and we're going to share with you a little bit this morning, but there'll be a lot of follow-up conversations to be had. But it's going to open up an immense ability to cross-sell, upsell, new and existing accounts of yours and accounts that we've worked together. So a whole new portfolio of products is now going to be available, which we're really excited about. Which is also going to translate obviously to more money, which we know is a driver for all of us on this call. So as combined companies, we're looking at just over 240 million in revenue, a customer base of approximately 1,700 customers, and of course, always growing, just shy of 1,000 employees. And we are managing over 1.2 million managed endpoints. So again, we're really excited about what this means for both organizations, both sales teams. And as you can see on the very bottom of the slide, there's a few logos that are listed here. So some really great enterprise opportunities, but it's still going to be, very focused in that SMB space. So with that, I will push it over to Don.
Great, thanks, Kim. So we can just go through the slide, the next one as well, and I'll go through kind of the talk track. So essentially, what we're really excited about, again, January, I've been here for like 6 years, almost 6 years, and been part of 5 or 6 now, mergers, acquisitions, and genuinely speaking, this is really a merger of equals. It helps in a couple of different ways. It helps strengthen us in a couple areas and broaden us in a couple areas. So especially when it comes to Evolve IP's strength around the collaboration suite with Teams, WebEx, their depth, and increase our depth when it comes to desktop as a service to combine with our desktop as a service. I think a really powerful combination in the marketplace, and really the partnerships they have with Broadcom and Microsoft, again, also bleed into our existing relationships and really strengthen our positions with those OEMs as well to provide more value to our customers. And ATSG, really, and maybe we just could jump to the 4x4. I'll kind of talk through a lot of that. Next slide, Jack, is really, I really talk about the 4x4 and how really that the integrated teams, again, some great talent and resources coming together. And really, there's 4 areas I talk about really that really kind of demonstrate the value to the customers. And really what we're trying to do is help our partners continue to have more capabilities that they can provide their customers, because these are things that we believe in the marketplace are in high demand. So specifically, initially on the managed cloud space, as I mentioned, the desktop as a service, both organizations have been mentioned, in fact, as a challenger within and Magic Quadrant for Gartner. And so now combining those entities, providing optionality for customers, ability to do it in different platforms and meet customers where they need to be and help them take them to new places. Really exciting, really additional talent and skills and resources to come to bear in our managed cloud service, as well as providing our hybrid cloud, so infrastructure as a service capabilities, is really exciting for us, again, because we can have really good depth and breadth for our customers. and your customers ultimately. We have this managed operations. This is a new thing for folks who are familiar with Evolve IP in the context of think about help desk and service desk, remote infrastructure management, really the ability to combine that with field support. And that really kind of bleeds into other areas as well, but really find that managed operations. I call it the plumbing. And when I was fortunate enough to be a CIO for 3 years, and this is the stuff that I never loved to do, and I love to outsource a lot of it, and customers are really looking towards that trend. Again, that's not always the case, but we certainly are available to help customers who are looking to help offload that while their resource can focus on more strategic initiatives. The other place where it's kind of a combination, but really exciting, is the managed network services. As you know, with Evolve IP, with the unified communications and contact center, really contact center is an area where we are now even more strong than we have in the past with the capabilities, the platform, the resources they have. EIP now is part of ATSG, but really we've complemented that with our managed network services. Our managed network services, if you looked at Gartner's Magic Quadrant, again, always, people talking about this is better than us talk about ourselves. Really, as a leader in that space, really, we've inched up every year and really proud of what the team has done to earn that right. It's not something that you buy into. They vet you out pretty intensely. And so our managed network services be able to provide LAN, WAN support, and really go beyond that because it's really around supporting customers and their business services. So we get into things not just in terms of IT, we get into things like OT, operational technology. I talk often about how we're embedded in a hospital's NICU unit, so they're helping monitor those critical devices. We're also in restaurants helping monitor refrigeration users, et cetera. So again, not just traditional IT, but really because we have the platform, we have the IP, we can integrate operational technology and really provide another level of service in addition to the monitoring and support of a traditional platform. And the last piece, again, is really, as everyone knows, unfortunately, the bad actors in the world still exist and will continue to exist. And we're trying to stay ahead of them. We provide a managed security MDR service. We help customers from a 24/7 by always support, helping them. Again, in my opinion, unfortunately, it's not a matter of if, but when you get breached, how you handle that, make sure you mitigate, minimize, respond quickly, resolve quickly, do things like preventative actions like pen testing, red teams, et cetera, providing those types of capabilities to our customers. Really excited about what that can do in the marketplace for you and your customers, and really excited about that service offering that now we're able to deliver. Meeting customers where they're at, especially when it comes to managed security. They've made a lot of investments. I talk often about most customers have 60 to 75 tools in their environment today, and how do you manage all the noise and all the alerts? Again, us providing that capability allows them to really focus on the higher priority items, help separate signal from noise, and really alleviate some of the issues and that they have around resource turnover, resource availability. Again, 24/7, all this different alerting that goes on, and really helping understand what's important so they can really act quickly and mitigate any actions that are out there. So again, a very exciting service. We also provide strategic procurement as part of our service. So we help customers not only implement, but also buy the equipment and manage the equipment, both from a OpEx and a CapEx perspective. So we can provide a full service capability, help them identify the need, help them buy the equipment, implement it, and then manage it full circle. So again, really fortunate enough to have the great talent that Evolve IP brings to the table combined with ours. I think hopefully we'll be able to have more opportunities with you in the marketplace. So that's it. I can speak pretty fast, but open a lot of questions. We'll likely turn to you and ask you some questions as well. But again, hopefully that makes sense in terms of who we are as an organization, and more to come. We can deep dive in any of these areas as you see fit. Okay. You want to turn to some questions? You want to open it up, Zach, in terms of the mic?
Yep. I'm going to go ahead and allow mics and cameras. Give me just 1 second.
And while Zach's doing that, I'll just add one thing, and thank you, Don. Today's world, it's hard to acquire a new logo. I just finished the fall series of national TSD events, and I think we would all agree that you have to go an inch wide and a mile deep with all of your clients, as not only an offensive strategy, but a defensive strategy from other people. We had a pretty big platform prior to the merger, and with the merger, it's just extraordinary. So we're really excited about all that.
All right, morning. I think I can start. Good morning, all. Raj Kashyap. I work with Simplify. I mean, this is exciting news. We actually had few opportunities this year, what we call IT outsourcing, which encompasses everything that you guys talked about, from managed cloud operations, huge piece, service desk, service management, ITSM, depot service, warehouse, procurement, all those things. So we actually had a few opportunities and had success, and we continue to build on that. So we're excited. I think this was a gap, and which you guys have done a wonderful job of filling. With that said, I definitely have interest in learning about their portfolio, more of a deep dive. So Kim, my question would be, when can we engage ATSG team and learn about their portfolio in detail?
Raj, I can reach out and work through Dawn to get some availability for next week. I believe it would be probably 2 separate calls from a managed operations like help desk and or managed network from like a help desk perspective versus like managed security. But yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
we can get some calls lined up before the Christmas holiday. Shortly thereafter, I'm in through the end of the year, so I can just get options for the different resources we would need for the calls, and we can get those lined up.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And I mean, it doesn't have to be next week or the week after. We can do it in first week of January if people are on vacation or holidays.
Sure.
Managed operations is an area that I really like to focus on.
Okay.
I think it's good to have. So some of the opportunities that I was talking about, predominantly in healthcare, when I say IT outsourcing, it essentially starts with the service desk, level 2, level 3, level 4,
Right.
service management, procurement of licenses, infrastructure, managing customers' assets in a hybrid sort of model. Some could be on-prem, some could be on cloud.
Exactly.
Management of end user devices such as laptop, desktops, not just the monitoring management, patch management, asset inventory. So I think this again fits right in, and we can extend a little bit more, end user devices from network standpoint, wireless access points, etc. We can bundle in some security. So those are the areas. Like I said, we can start with managed operations team, and then we can see who else is needed. But we at Simplify are very excited. I think this will certainly expand our portfolio as we continue to work on those opportunities.
Yeah, great, Raj. Really appreciate that. And I mean, you hit on some things. I mean, it's near and dear to my heart, both as a buyer when I bought these services, as well as I've been in IT for 30 plus years, admittedly. And so, I've had a lot of experience on service desk. The reality is providing an integrated service versus multiple resolver groups. Again, it's ITIL based, tier 1 through tier 3, onshore, offshore capabilities, helping customers navigate through that and really help them, focus on the high priority items versus some of this stuff. But also we got to do it well. Certainly excited to talk about how we can help you guys, arm you guys with and your team with the right information and capabilities that we can go to market with. So again, thank you for that. Look forward to that conversation.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, who are we going to pick on next?
Hey, Kim, Steve Talbert here.
Hey, Steve.
I may have missed this already. If I did, forgive me, but is there going to be a name change? And if so, do we know what that is yet?
Yes, there'll be a name
Don,
change.
yes.
And yes, there will be a name change. We know what it is. I don't think we're yet ready, Steve, to talk about it, but we will shortly. So we're on the cusp. But we've done a lot of, actually it's a process, as you may know, but to get there. But we're really close. So yeah, saying 2 different names is not fun. So we'll be down to 5 letters here shortly.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Steve, what I'll add to that is all the names are going to be consolidated. So
Okay, cool.
And so, I'm going to be selling shirts, in the very near future. If anybody's interested in, legacy outerwear,
Okay. Thank you.
Hey, when will we get an amendment to our agreement to be able to sell the additional ATSG services?
Yeah, great
So we're-
question, Brent. Go ahead, Gary.
I was just going to say, we are absolutely working through the details of that right now. You know, and really it comes down to sort of 4 services, right? The managed ops, the managed network services, the MDR component, and professional services. We're likely a week or 2 away from that. And what we'll probably do is either create a universal addendum or just do it via notice. But we're going to have all that resolved long before the end of the year.
So just a quick question. How do you guys, who do you guys see your competition? You know, we have had customers working with the big boys, you know, Accentures and Tech
Yeah.
Mahindra, Infosys, et cetera. Most of the time, those guys are not a big fit for upper mid, you know, enterprise space.
Yeah.
And their, you know, process is, you know, not very conducive to our customers' needs. So we do have, you know, obviously providers in our ecosystem who does something similar. But
Yeah.
I'm just curious to learn from you guys. Who do you see your competition? Any known names that, you know, we ought to be?
Yeah. So I want Don to go first, because, and then I'll chime in based on the community as I know it. But Don, you go ahead first, and then I'll add on.
Yeah, you know, Raj, I worked for one of those big guys, right? I worked for EDS long ago when they used to be EDS, so I'm familiar with those big boys when it comes to, especially when it comes to managed ops. And so, but those are the folks we don't compete with on a regular basis, whether it's Tata, whether it's others. Those aren't folks we deal with, because that's to me upper enterprise. Even though we have some upper enterprise customers, our target base has always been really in the upper mid market, where that's our sweet spot where we can compete effectively. And so when you think about that, there are people like maybe a Core BTS or a Lincoln Technology, or again regional or more national players when it comes to this space, and that's where I think we can be effective. Understand there's always competition, you know, embrace it, but that's who we compete with.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And Raj, in our sort of like channel ecosystem, I think there's a couple things very interesting here. Certainly in the managed ops space, it's the people like Thrive and Blue Mantis that we would probably see the most. One of the things that we're going to try to do is be mutually exclusive. So one of the challenges with some of those guys that I mentioned is, well, they'll do the help desk, but they have to get the MDR at the same time. And I think you'll find us to be easier to work with when it comes to how do we get our toe in on a client and grow from there. You know, managed network services is primarily the carrier based, you know, meaning the Verizons and the Lumen and Windstream are typically the guys that we're seeing in the M&S space. And you know, managed security business, yeah, there's quite a few people in there. I just think that the idea behind the combined company here is the ability to get in and land and expand. So we're not just an MDR provider. There's a lot more things that we'll be doing, but that's typically what I think we're seeing right now from a competitive perspective. And I would love to understand your thought process on that. You know, as we were working through the comp, one of the things that I did is called on a lot of my friends and say, what's everybody paying? And because we want to make sure that we're competitive. And these are the names that came up.
Gotcha. No, that's helpful. Look, I think you guys will learn very quickly that in order to be super successful in ITO space, you have to have the cohesive approach. I mean, you have all these 4 pillars, which is excellent. From sales, business development, and operations standpoint, when you're helping a customer, they're looking at a single team that can help solve their problems, right? Like I said, in my example of IT outsourcing, which, you know, where we focus on quite a bit, you know, these customers are not just looking, hey, can you manage my endpoints and do the patch management? That's a component of it. In addition, hey, I got Azure infrastructure, in 2 different regions. And by the way, I got a few racks sitting in Equinix data center. We just don't have enough people. So I think they have their own ecosystem they're looking for, and the companies who become successful are the ones who have this cohesive approach, solving their overall problem versus, oh, here's my team that does manage operations, right? Headed by a different, team lead. Oh, here's my team that does that. I think behind the scenes, we understand that. It's a different skill set, obviously. But like I said, from operations leadership and from sales leadership standpoint and business development, I think having that cohesive approach, single pane of glass, unified approach to solve the overall problem is what I'm excited about. So hopefully that's what ATSG brings to the table.
That's what we're excited about too, Raj. Not gonna lie to you. So that's I will say this though, as we go work together, right? There are some overlap and similarities, but there are also some unique ICPs, ideal customer profiles, right? So there's some areas where, for example, our managed network services really fit the upper mid market more so than they do an SMB, versus our RIM solution might be better for an SMB. Our service desk, again, also may have a slightly similar, but not the exact same. So we'll work through each one of the bullets within the 4x4 and work, talk about where we think we have our sweet spot. I think, for example, in healthcare, where they manage network services, I mean, that's low hanging fruit for us. So we can go to battle and really have great references, great examples, and things that we're doing today. Same thing with MDR. We look at a lot of success, or managed ops around retail. You name a high-end brand, and they're likely our customer. So again, really digging into that layer of detail for you and your teams, and really identifying where we can be successful, build some momentum. Really excited about that.
Absolutely, and thank you for all these details. We look forward to our next discussion for sure.
What else, guys?
Howard, any questions? You're right in my middle of my board, so I have to pick on you. Sorry.
No, I'm pretty good. Kim's been keeping us up to speed, so I had a pretty good idea of most of this, and just it's good to fill in some details.
Yeah, for us older folks, the Hollywood Squares, right? I got this kind of dynamic, all the squares up there. So,
Anything from the Lawlesses?
No, nothing for me, guys. Yeah, I mean, I know I got to talk to you both kind of separately about these solutions, so I feel like I got a lot of questions answered already. I forget if this was asked. Did you mention if there's a timeline for when we can kind of start, I guess, telling customers about this? If we have existing customers, new services to Evolve IP with this ATSG. Okay, currently.
Yeah,
The time is now.
Perfect.
yeah.
Thank
We
you.
we want to engage right now. We are. To Brent's earlier point, we're absolutely committed to being competitive from a compensation perspective, from an incentive perspective, and we're moving absolutely as fast as we can. But in terms of engaging with customers, we're ready to do that right now.
Awesome.
And
Good to hear.
Zach, from a marketing perspective, I mean, do partners, if they, probably not this time right now, but once we get into January, will they be able to have an opportunity to engage me and you as far as some email campaigns, if they're prospecting into their base with these new product and service offerings?
Yeah, I think from a timeline perspective, we can certainly start having those conversations now. And as we finalize more of the internal details, probably starting mid-January, we can start some of those campaigns, those co-selling or co-marketing campaigns. So I think mid-January is a good time frame for that.
And I will definitely be reaching out to everyone over the next, couple of weeks into January, staying engaged. If there's any requests, any opportunities that come up where you think it might be a fit, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Very excited at the opportunity to just have more conversations, fresh conversations, both with partners and prospects out there. So definitely we appreciate everyone's time today. Is there any other questions before Don or Gary kind of wrap up?
Well, great. I appreciate it, but I wanted to first, I'll wish you nothing but the best this holiday season, to you and your families. Hopefully everything goes is wonderful. And I do want to say, while we are excited about where we're at, we really want to also get better. So as we learn and work together, I really want to have transparency in terms of where could we be better to help you be successful in the marketplace. So really need the candid feedback. Even though I believe while we are competitive and I know you have options, I want to be kind of one of your first options, and I got to earn that right. I respect that. So look forward to working with you intimately, having these transparent discussions to really figure out how we win together. So really excited about that. But again, thank you for taking the time this morning to join the call and really learn about kind of what we believe is an exciting time and the things we can help you be successful with you and your customers.
So I'll just echo Don's comments. We're excited. I'm always excited to start a meeting and end the meeting on time. So this is perfect. And I just want to close by wishing everybody a happy and healthy new year. We're gonna make a lot of money together in 2025. So let's get started now. Zach, any final thoughts?
No, I just appreciate everybody hopping on. Have a great holiday, and let's kick this thing off and go get it done. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everybody. All the
Thank
best.
Have a good day, everyone.